Hello everyone, my name is Joseph. Growing up, my eldest sister Shanice wasn't just a sibling, she was a caretaker, an authority figure, almost stepping into a fatherly role for us. There were 5 of us kids, including her, and she carried a weight that most people her age never had to. She drove us to school, picked up our mom, and made sure we were taken care of. And every single day, she cooked for us too. It didn't matter how tired she was, she made sure that we had a meal on the table. She did everything she could to keep us together. She was tough on us, and at times she didn't always control her anger. But looking back, I understand why. She was thrown into a role she never asked for, doing the best she could with what she had. And because of that, I have nothing but gratitude for her. Alcohol has played a major role in my family's history, and I saw firsthand what it can take from someone. My father David struggled with alcohol for a good part of his life. He was a man of God, had a voice that can move people, and someone you wanted to be around. But over time, the pull of his own desires led him away from the man he once aspired to be. And because of that, we didn't have consistent contact when I was younger. Not because life got in the way, not because of distance, but because in those years, those early years, he chose alcohol over his kids. And the times when he was with us, when my mother gave him a second chance, he didn't step up. He stayed at home, didn't really care about getting a job, and left my mom to do all of the work. She carried the weight of providing for us while he just existed. I knew he had problems with drinking, but what I didn't realize was just how much it had cost him. I knew he was on dialysis, but we didn't have a regular relationship. We didn't talk often when he was going through it, and when he passed away, I didn't even know. It took me 2 months to find out, and the way I found out, through his Facebook profile. No phone call, no message, nothing. The woman who was with him at the time, she could have told me, but she didn't. I had to sit with that, process it on my own. And that's when it really hit me. The choices we make, the habits we hold on to, don't just affect us. They affect the people who we care about, who cares about us, even the ones we don't talk to every day. And my father wasn't the only one I saw go down that path. I used to have a father figure friend in my life, someone who I really looked up to. He was a good man, but alcohol had a grip on him too, for most of his life. I don't ever think he meant for it to take control, but over time it started affecting everything. His health, his relationships, and his job. I watched as the stress and struggles built up. The things he did at work, the choices he made, they weren't really him. It was the addiction pulling the strings. Eventually it became too much for him, and he had to leave his job. Not because he wanted to, but because alcohol had taken too much from him. And that made me realize something. If you don't take control of your habits will take control of you. And I see the same struggle in my community. The local Native American people around here use alcohol as a coping mechanism for their struggles. It's a cycle that's been passed down, a way to numb pain when no other solution seems to be in reach. But the hardest part, many of them don't know how to break out of the habits themselves. It's all they've ever known. And it made me realize something. If you don't take control of your habits will take control of you. I wish I could say that lesson was enough to keep me away from it, but I had to learn the hard way too. I remember one New Year's Eve, me and a buddy went to the Holiday Inn. He encouraged me to drink, and I went along with it. I figured, why not? It's just one night. Midnight hit, the ball dropped, and so did I. I blacked out, threw up in a ballroom, and I didn't remember a good portion of that night. And I had to rely on other people to piece it together for me. But here's the part that really stuck with me. I was kind of lucky. My girlfriend and friends at the time were the ones who rescued me. They helped me when I couldn't help myself. They made sure I was okay, made sure I got out of there safely. Not everyone has someone like that in their life. And I realized in that moment that I needed to start making better decisions, not just for myself, but for the people who I truly cared about and the ones that cared about me. Because the truth is, not everyone around you is looking out for your best interests. Sometimes the people around you, the people you surround yourself with, are the ones leading you down the wrong path. And if you don't choose to distance yourself from the ones encouraging your worst habits, you'll end up stuck in the same cycle you swore you'd never repeat. That was a turning point for me. But here's the thing, the cycle only continues if we let it. If we never question the beliefs we inherit, if we never take accountability for our own choices, if we refuse to grow beyond the mistakes of those before us, then what kind of future are we creating? What kind of world do we expect to live in? What kind of legacy are we leaving for the next generation? It's easy to blame, it's easy to resent, but real leadership, real change, starts when we take responsibility. We learn, we adapt, and we grow by example. And we don't let hypocrisy destroy what we're trying to build. Let's be better, let's break the cycle. This is Invigorating Brotherhood. Looks like you made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video or found it to be helpful, please leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. That'll be all, and I'll catch all of you in the next one.